enough people realize this, you can change your life. You have free will. If something is not working for you, you may not be able to change it overnight, but you can start taking steps today. And that is exactly what I had to do. I made the radical decision to leave a corporate engagement that was going to pay me a good 6 figures. Not because I woke up one morning and decided to be dramatic. I left because I had reached a point in my life where I could no longer stand doing things that made absolutely no sense, simply because someone in authority said, this is how we do it here. One example, going into the office. I worked a job where we were expected to go into the office 5 days a week. And for what? Half of the people I worked with were geographically distributed across the country and India. So I would get dressed, commute downtown, spend money on transportation or parking, lose hours of my day, only to sit in an office and join virtual meetings. Make it make sense. If I drove, parking was about $35 a day, and that did not include gas or the stress of driving in traffic. If I took public transportation, I dealt with crowded buses and bumpy rides that led to constant headaches. And yes, some people will say, you can make use of that time on the bus to read a book or listen to a podcast. I'd rather do that from my home though, comfortably and peacefully, without feeling every bump on the road. But even that was not the main reason I left. The main reason was control.
Some individuals would nitpick on everything some team members would say or do. I just could not pretend everything was just fine.
At some point, I asked myself a very important question. Do I actually have to be here? And the answer was no. Now, let me be clear. I'm not telling anyone to quit their job recklessly. That is not the point. The point is this. Start building options, because optionality is power. When you have options, you do not have to tolerate every environment. You do not have to shrink yourself to survive. You do not have to stay where your peace is being taxed every single day. I had worked myself to a point where I had options. So I left peacefully, with my full chest, as Nigerians would say. And honestly, it has been the most rewarding decision I have ever made. Leaving gave me space to breathe, to think, space to explore ideas I had been carrying in my heart for years but never had the time, energy, or mental bandwidth to pursue. And that is the lesson. You may not be able to change your life today, but you can start preparing to change it. Start saving, start building a skill, start creating another stream of income, start working on the version of you that will one day have the freedom to say, I do not have to be here. Because freedom does not always come from one big decision. Sometimes it starts with one small step, one skill learned, one plan written down, one decision to stop living on autopilot. Health is wealth, peace is wealth, time is wealth, and options, that is power.
Comment options if you'd like to know how I built my exit plan.